Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. If you are new here, thank you for visiting. I am a mommy to 5. I have 4 boys and 1 girl. And so today I'm going to do something a little bit different for my channel. I'm actually going to do the baby names I love, but probably will not be using. I say probably because we think that we are done having children. Like I said, we have 5, but nothing's been permanently taken care of in that department, and we've still always thrown out adoption. I would love for my little girl to have a sister, and biologically we just keep making boys. So I don't know, I never say never. I don't really know what God's plan is for our family as of yet, but I'm just gonna say, like when people ask me, are you done yet? I'm like, I always just say, maybe. I can't say yes or no yet. I think I'm one of those people where if I lived back in like the Pilgrim days, I would have like 17 children. I don't really like being pregnant, but my pregnancies haven't been super complicated. We're able to get pregnant very easily, thankfully. I feel very blessed in that department, and I'm super thankful that we are able to just naturally conceive so easily. But I don't know. I don't like being pregnant, but I love the babies, and I love being a mom, and I feel like it's like the calling of my life. Like I feel like I was made to be a mom. Everything in my history, just like moving forward, I feel like this is what I was made for. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and just list the names that I love and that we may possibly use in the future, or if we never have any more kids, they'll just be on my list of baby names that I always loved. So I will say that with having 4 boys, I've basically used most of the boy names that I actually love. It took us a long time to name Grant, because we had basically just used everything that we already liked. But I did come up with 5 names that I do like, and if we had another boy, I would probably use one of these names. So on the other side of that, we didn't get to use like hardly any girls' names. I feel like my entire life growing up, I used to have like a massive list of girls' names that I was going to use in my future, and we only had 1 little girl, so I still kind of have a big list of little girl names that I love. So I'm going to start with boy names though. And the first boy name that I love, and if we had another child, it might be, his name is Smith. I don't know, I have something, like, I kind of have, I guess, like a fascination with like using last names as first names, and I didn't really realize that that was like my thing until I had so many children. So like my daughter's name is McKinley, and then we have Paxton, Davis, and Grant. All 4 of those could be a last name. My only child that doesn't have a last name as a first name is Caleb. So I tend to like that style of name. So I love the name Smith. Nick was kind of like about it, but I personally love it. My first girl name that I love is ADALYN. I remember when I was pregnant with Caleb looking through a baby name book, and I came across ADALYN, and I had never heard that name before. And this was back in like 2008, but now it's super popular. I don't really personally know a lot of little kids personally, like in my circle, who are named ADALYN, but I know that it's a very popular name at school. It's a very popular name that you see all over the internet. So I don't know, if Grant was a girl, we were throwing around the name ADALYN for him because I love the way it rolls off the tongue, but I don't know whether or not we would have actually used it just because it is so popular, but I don't know. My name's Sarah, so I came from the 80s. Everybody was named Sarah, so I've never really wanted to give my child a name that everybody else had, but I do love the name ADALYN. Love it. All right, my second boy name. This was actually Grant's name for about 10 weeks. So throughout his entire pregnancy until my 20-week scan, I was convinced that he was a girl. And all of the old wives' tales said girl, so I was just like, oh, he's a girl. We didn't really think about names. And then we went in for our 20-week scan, and I saw the penis, and I don't know. All my dreams of him being a girl were just gone. So that is what that is. But with that being said, we got home, and I was like, okay, we need to give this baby a name because I need to start thinking of him as a male and like give him an identity. So Nick and I kind of like looked through baby names, and we saw Brooks, and I like the name Brooks, and so for a brief period of time his name was going to be Brooks Russell. Russell's a family name, And so for about 10 weeks, that was his name. And then I started thinking about Grant, and we honestly did not actually name Grant until he came out. So Brooks was a possibility, and it still is. I still like it. All right, the next name for a girl is Harper. And I love the name Harper, but Harper would be the middle name of any of these girls' names that I'm listing. I am dead set that if we have a little girl, her middle name will be Harper. I love it. I love the way it flows, but I think it's also a super popular first name, but I love it as like a middle name. I kind of feel like it's like a name like Beth or Grace, where it kind of just goes with almost any name, like ADALYN Harper. Love it. It's so pretty. So Harper, for sure a middle name if we ever have a girl. All right, the next boy name is Colson. And that actually means son of Nicholas, and my husband's name's Nicholas. So like, I always like push to name one of our boys Colson. But Nick did make a good point that his name would probably be shortened to Cole. And I like the nickname Cole, but I kind of like to like keep our names as their name. McKinley's the only name out of my kids that we shorten sometimes. We call her Kinley. But I didn't really want to like go forward doing that. I kind of wanted like their name to be their name. So Colson was a contender, but it probably would not be our name if we had another boy. Okay, the next girl's name is Blair. I have a friend that I've had since kindergarten, and her name is Blair. And I love that name. I think it's just short and simple and pretty and classic and unique. Like, you don't hear a lot of people named Blair, but it just like flows off the tongue really pretty. So Blair Harper, I mean, Harper goes with anything, but I love the name Blair. My next boy's name is Burke. Once again, it's a last name. That seems to be my thing. We probably would not use that name because we have friends and their last name, we call them the Burkes. So I feel like it would be confusing, but I love the name Burke. I think it's super classic. I think it's a strong name. I don't know, I like it. The next girl name that I love is so short and simple, and it's actually kind of becoming popular. But the first time I heard it was actually like 10 years ago. I used to blog back in the day, and I followed a girl at the time, and her oldest daughter was named Evie. And I used to pronounce it like Evie until she wrote in parentheses, it's like Evie like Chevy. And I was like, oh my gosh, like Evie, that is so cute. I love it. I still love it. I think it's so simple, so simplistic, but it's so pretty. So Evie Harper, like, so cute. One of my good friends, her little girl's name is Everly, and they call her Evie. And so I don't know if I would ever actually use it, but I love it. Okay, and my last boy name is Harris. Once again, it's a last name, but I love the name Harris. We have a friend, and her son is named Harris, and that's probably the first time I heard it, but I love it. I just do. I love it. And then the last girl's name that I have is Lydia. Lydia was actually a contender for my fourth child's name if he was a girl. I loved the name Lydia Harper. Once again, Harper's been there all along. But I liked the idea of calling her Liddy. Like, it just reminded me of like the movie The Little Princess from back in the day. There was a little girl on there named Laddie. And I don't know, I just thought that Liddy was a cute nickname. So Lydia was a contender. But I hope that you all enjoyed these names. Let me know in the comments below which ones were your favorite and which ones you just didn't like. But thank you all for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you around here, and give me a thumbs up on this video if you did like it. Thank you for watching.